Something changed. You can feel it. You sit in the stylist's chair. You say the same words you always say, you walk out, and something still isn't right. Not wrong enough to name. Just off. Just slightly less than it could be. That feeling? It has a source. And the source is fixable in one appointment once you know what it actually is. You are not someone who stopped caring. You never stopped. You still pay attention to how things fall, how light hits, how something feels when it's working versus when it's just sitting there. That attention is exactly why this is frustrating, because you know the difference. You just haven't been given the right information. Here is what nobody says plainly. The wrong haircut is adding years to your face every single morning. Not vaguely. Specifically. 4 to 6 years, quietly, without your permission. And the right cut, the one built for your actual bone structure at this stage of life, removes those years without surgery, without filters, without anything other than knowing what to ask for. I researched the worst style and beauty mistakes and youth-boosting fixes for mature women, so you get simple, proven transformations that work immediately. Today we're covering the 3 haircuts that genuinely take years off, and the 3 that are doing the opposite. And by part 3, you are going to want to stop and look in the mirror. I mean it. Part 1 opens with the cut I see most often on women who are unknowingly working against themselves. Part 2 has a fix so counterintuitive that most stylists won't bring it up on their own. Part 3 is the one my inbox fills up about every single week. Part 4 brings it all together with something specific about maintenance that nobody talks about plainly. If you haven't already, hit subscribe. I cover this every week. Part 1, the first cut that takes years off, and the first one that adds them. There is a cut happening in salons right now. In good salons with experienced stylists, that is quietly aging women over 60 faster than anything else on this list. Most women ask for it by name. They have asked for it for years. And every time they sit in that chair and say those words, the stylist nods, picks up the scissors, and nobody says a word about what it is actually doing to their face. This one is everything. Let me tell you what it is. The bowl cut, and everything in that family, the blunt one-length cut that sits at the jaw or just below it with no layers, no movement, no graduation, is one of the most aging shapes a woman over 60 can wear. Not because of the length. Because of what that blunt horizontal line does at jawline level. It draws the eye directly to the widest part of the lower face. It flattens the cheekbones by pulling visual weight downward. And it creates a frame that competes with your features rather than lifting them. If you have ever looked at a photograph of yourself and felt like something was pulling your face down, this is frequently the reason. That straight blunt line is doing all the wrong things, and it happens to every face shape. No exceptions. Now here is the truth your stylist may never say out loud. The fix is not a different length. The fix is what happens inside the cut. Layers. Not thin wispy ones. Structured, intentional layers that begin at the cheekbone and move the eye upward rather than across. When a cut has graduated movement that lifts toward the crown and softens through the ends, your cheekbone becomes the focal point again. That is the difference between a cut that works for you and a cut that merely sits on your head. Here is what most women never hear. The jaw-length blunt line became popular during decades when faces were carrying more fullness. After 60, that fullness shifts, and the cuts that once served you may now be working against you simply because your face has changed. It is not a failure. It is biology. And the solution is a cut designed for the face you have now, not the face you had at 40. If you are still reaching for the jaw-length blunt bob, swap it for a layered cut that falls just past the collarbone. The extra length alone softens the jaw. The layers redirect attention upward toward your eyes and cheekbones, which are your most striking features. Ask your stylist specifically for internal layers that begin at the cheekbone level. Those words matter. And for maintenance, a trim every 8 weeks on layered cuts keeps the movement working correctly. Let it go past 10, and the layers start to collapse into bulk, which undoes everything. Here is what is coming in part 2. And I want you to stay for this one specifically. There is a cut that women over 60 are being actively recommended by well-meaning stylists right now. And it is the one that is hardest to recover from once you have committed to it. That is next. Part 2, the second cut that lifts your face. And the second one working against you. Nobody warned her. That is what I keep thinking about. I watched a woman in a salon chair last week. Stunning bone structure, perfect posture, the kind of natural elegance that does not require effort. And she kept telling her stylist to just clean it up, just neaten the shape. She did not know she was asking for the thing that was already doing the damage. She left looking exactly the same as when she walked in. And she tipped generously. That is how invisible this mistake is. The cut she was asking to preserve was the classic short crop. Clipped close at the sides, tight at the nape, with very little length or volume anywhere above the ears. This look has a long and respectable history. But after 60, when the face naturally loses volume in the mid-cheek area, a cut that removes volume from the sides simultaneously creates a visual narrowing effect that pulls the temples inward and makes the face appear longer and more drawn than it is. This is adding years to your face in a way that is genuinely difficult to see on yourself because you are used to it. Write this one down. Here is what actually works. And this is the part that surprises most women when they first hear it. Volume at the crown and soft width through the sides, even on a short cut, counteracts the natural narrowing that happens with age. A pixie cut with deliberate height at the crown and a little texture at the sides is a completely different visual experience than the close-cropped version. One removes volume where you need it most. The other adds it precisely where your face asks for it. The specific cut to request is a textured pixie with crown lift, meaning the top is left longer and styled upward. The sides have soft tapered texture rather than a clipped finish, and the nape has a clean but not severe line. That distinction, textured versus clipped, is the entire difference. Textured sides read as soft and feminine. Clipped sides read as sharp, which after 60 draws attention to areas of the face that a softer line would simply not emphasize. Honestly, this is the swap I wish I could walk into every salon and whisper before a single appointment was booked. The difference between these two cuts is not dramatic in description, but on your face, in your photographs, under the light at a dinner table. It is the difference between a face that reads as tired and a face that reads as completely, unapologetically alive. If you are currently in the close-cropped version, swap it for the textured pixie with crown lift. Ask your stylist to leave an extra inch on top, and use texturizing scissors through the sides rather than clipper guards. Those specific instructions change the outcome completely. For maintenance, the textured pixie needs a shape-up every 6 weeks. Not to recrop it shorter, but to keep the texture defined. Letting it grow past 6 weeks without a refresh causes it to lose the lift that makes it work. The next part is the one my inbox fills up about the most. There is a cut in part 3 that most women over 60 have been told is safe, and that recommendation, while well-intentioned, is leaving volume and youth on the table that you genuinely do not have to leave behind. That is coming up next. Part 3. The third cut that changes everything. And the third you need to leave behind. There is a question I get asked more than any other. More than the pixie questions, more than the color questions, more than anything. And it goes like this. I have been wearing my hair long for years, past my shoulders, sometimes to the middle of my back. My stylist keeps telling me to cut it shorter. Is she right? Should I cut my long hair after 60? Here is the answer most people in this space will not say plainly. It depends entirely on how the length is being worn, not on the length itself. Long hair after 60 is not the mistake. Long hair after 60 that is worn without structure, without layers, without intentional shape, that is what adds years. Specifically, it is the weight of unstructured long hair that pulls the face downward. When hair has significant length and no internal layering, gravity wins. The hair hangs. The face follows it visually. And the result is a heaviness around the jaw and lower cheek that mimics the visual effect of significant facial aging, even on a woman with extraordinary bone structure. The fix is not to cut it all off. The fix is to take the weight out. A long cut with internal layers, meaning layers that begin at the chin level and cascade through to the ends, removes that downward gravitational pull without sacrificing the length that you love. The length remains. The weight does not. And when weight is removed from long hair, it does something visually remarkable. It begins to move. And hair that moves reads as youthful on every woman, regardless of age. The specific long cut that does this best is called a long layered cut with face framing pieces. The face framing layers are the key element most women skip when asking for this cut. These are shorter layers that fall around the face, beginning at the cheekbone, blending into the length. And their job is to draw the eye inward and upward rather than straight down. Your beautiful eyes become the first thing the viewer sees. Your cheekbones catch the light. The length is still there, doing what you love about it. But now it is working with your face instead of pulling against it. If you are still wearing the long, flat, unstructured length, swap it for the long layered cut with face framing pieces that begin at the cheekbone level. Ask specifically for the layers to be cut with shears, not a razor. Razor cut layers on mature hair can cause too much frizz through the mid-lengths. Shear cut layers fall cleaner and behave more beautifully through every weather condition. For maintenance, this cut stays beautiful longer than any other on this list. 8 to 10 weeks between trims is completely comfortable because the layers grow gracefully rather than losing their shape all at once. Part 4 is where I pull everything together. And I am saving something specific for the end of that part that is about the one thing you can do between appointments that changes how every single cut on this list performs. That is coming up now, and it is the thing nobody says plainly. Part 4. Putting it all together. What your cut needs between appointments. Here is a bold truth. You can book the perfect cut, walk out of the salon looking extraordinary, and completely undo it within 3 weeks, without realizing it. Not through anything you do wrong on purpose. Through one small thing done the same way every morning without thinking about it. The way you blow dry your hair after 60 is doing more work on your overall look than most women realize. This one is the real reason. When hair, particularly fine or silver hair, which tends to be structurally different after 60, is blow-dried without a round brush or without directional tension at the root, it dries flat at the crown and puffy through the mid-lengths. Flat crown, volume in the wrong places. And that combination, worn daily, presses the shape out of your cut faster than any other single factor. By week 2, even the best haircut in the world starts losing the lift and movement that made it work in the salon. Women blame the cut. They go back and ask for something different. The cut was never the problem. Here is what to do instead. Every morning, before anything else, section the top of your hair from the crown to the front hairline. Clip it away. Dry the bottom sections first, nape sides behind the ears, with medium heat and downward tension. Then release the crown section and dry it last with the round brush, lifting at the root and rolling upward. That sequence, bottom first, crown last, root lifted, puts volume exactly where your face needs it and smooths exactly where volume would work against you. The 3 cuts that genuinely take years off, the layered collarbone cut, the textured crown pixie, the long layered cut with face framing pieces, all perform 10 times better when dried this way. The 3 to avoid, the blunt jaw bob, the close-cropped flat crop, the heavy unstructured long length, are all made worse by flat crown drying. One technique works with every cut on this list. Yes, that powerful. Now here is the piece about the problem cuts that nobody says directly. If you are in one of the 3 cuts to avoid right now, you do not need to make a dramatic change all at once. One conversation with your stylist, using the specific language from today's video. Internal layers beginning at the cheekbone, textured sides rather than clipped, face framing pieces starting at cheekbone level, is enough to begin shifting the shape in the right direction at your very next appointment. The swap is always worth it. I have watched women make this single change, and then not recognize their own reflection in the way that makes them stop and look for an extra moment. That extra moment is what your bone structure was always capable of producing. The right cut simply lets it happen. For maintenance across all 3 of the cuts that work, ask your stylist to never take length without adding movement. That one instruction, repeated at every appointment, protects the shape that is taking years off your face. Length without movement is the beginning of every cut on the avoid list. Coming up next, we are getting into the accessory mistake that adds years faster than any haircut on this list. And it is sitting in most women's jewelry boxes right now without their knowing it. You just learned the 3 cuts that genuinely take years off: the layered collarbone cut, the textured crown pixie, and the long layered cut with face framing pieces, and exactly why the blunt jaw bob, the close crop flat crop, and the heavy unstructured length are working against you. You did that in one sitting. That knowledge belongs to you now. Boom! Your bone structure was always this stunning. Now you know exactly how to let it show. Tell me in the comments. Which of the 3 cuts to avoid were you wearing without knowing what it was doing? I read every single one. Next time, we are getting into the one accessory mistake that adds 10 years overnight, and it is not what you would expect. Like this video, subscribe to Timeless Wisdom Path, and I'll see you in the next one.